What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk about Miss Kandi Burruss on her Speak on It, honey. Okay, she talks about the whole Kenya versus Porsha and Drew Sidora Indian costume situation, honey. I'm going to play the clip, and I will be in and out with my commentary.
We start talking about a lot of things, and it leaves the way for...
We got a lot of viewer questions and comments about the Halloween episode that aired and the costume you chose to wear.
Here's the other thing. At the reunion, they be cutting so much stuff out, y'all.
I did speak to an organization, Illuminative, and they explained to me why it was so upsetting to specific Native Americans.
So we see that, and you said it was things that were cut.
Customs are not costumes. They don't want to be made fun of, and they don't want people to not take them seriously.
And at one point, you go to chime in, but it's when Drew and Kenya start talking.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was another thing that I felt like they cut that weird, because basically they started talking about the thing about Kenya in the costume, in the Indian costume, and Porsha, brought up, well, I don't understand why you feel like you should be, forgiving because you always holding me to the fire.
The same way you're coming today, which I'm proud of you for educating yourself, because you recognized it was very ignorant, very hurtful.
Kenya brings up this whole situation about, but y'all basically have pictures with the same garment, the Indian garment on, and basically, so here's the thing.
Really quickly, guys, if you replay my recap of the reunion, child, can't get the words out. If you replay that, I got on Porsha for that. I felt like she shouldn't have said anything at that part, because the whole Underground Railroad and then the trying to get on Kenya for wearing the Indian costume, I didn't never see the comparison, right, between the two. And I just was like, oh, Porsha, I wish she would have been quiet. So Kandi actually has pictures of Lauren in like an Indian costume, right? And then she actually has a picture of Drew Sidora in a costume as well. Ciao. Let's check this out.
They kind of like cut most of that conversation out. But basically what Kenya was trying to say is,
because what you're saying is incorrect.
Which is weird to me too. Y'all fans, by the way, y'all find everything. Okay, y'all know on that episode, Porsha and Drew basically was saying it was disgusting.
Kenya's Native American costume is super problematic, but I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers. It feels like I'm always the only one that sees the issues with Kenya Moore's decision. Like, I knew that this girl was crazy, but add lame to the list, add whack to the list.
So some of the fans had tweeted,
in Drew's case, she dressed as an Indian woman for Halloween also. Oh. And that is not right.
In an Indian costume with somebody else who has a costume going at a costume party.
It makes them feel like they're being mocked.
And I think, and also Porsha had...
So neither one of them, you guys, in my opinion, they shouldn't have spoke on that. Especially your sister is in the damn picture wearing an Indian costume, and then you have Drew. Girl, no ma'am, Drew, I like you, Drew. Okay, but the people, they don't like you. They catching you in these lies, honey. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look, Drew. Okay. So you never acknowledged the fact that you posted a photo of your sister wearing Native American wear.
But yet, here we are years later.
Tribal look.
Okay.
They don't want to be made fun of, and they don't want people to not take them seriously.
The fans tweeted it. So basically, Kenya's thing is like, how are you calling me disgusting, but you're posting this about just...
And I told y'all, Porsha should have stayed out of that. See, that's kind of some of that, not so smart of Porsha, okay? girl, you should have just sat there and looked cute. And I already, before I even seen proof, I was like, oh, she shouldn't have spoke on that. I didn't even see the pictures of Lauren. I didn't even see the picture with Drew. So, yeah, y'all should have stayed out of that.
A while back, like saying good things about her, and then, with Drew, you had a whole Halloween party with it on. And what I thought was crazy that they took out, I actually had this conversation there. You can hear me talking. They don't show me. You can hear my voice. But if you go back and watch when they're going back and forth about Drew and her cousins, Drew's like, I was
at a family reunion. We did a ceremony for our ancestors in Louisiana where we all wore Native American, and those weren't costumes from Party City.
Nah, you were at a party.
Hashtag Halloween.
But they have my mic so low, and they do not show my face. And they just basically cut away to the next thing with her husband.
So we're going to leave it there. We're going to be right back after this.
I just think that it's kind of like, what's going on with this editing? Because that's like a true moment. Like,
and they be cutting a lot of shit out, I see.
You said that you weren't using it as a costume, and she's clearly in the picture with somebody who has on a costume at a costume party. Not another person in the Indian garment, but like a silly costume. Mm-hmm. So she's standing in the picture with her friend, so it's clear they're at a Halloween costume party.
So it would be nice, instead of pointing a finger, to say, yes, we have all made these mistakes, and let's try to do better because now we know better.
You can't drag one person and then let somebody else get away, which is basically lying about it.
Okay, so you feel like Drew lied. Do you feel like Drew lied a lot during this first episode of the reunion?
I used the word lie.
You said lie.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you just used it. Now, Kandi, you can't go back, honey.
What your mama tell you back then? Don't say lie. Say tell a story.
So do you feel like Drew
told a story with that costume situation?
Do you feel like that's the first time you caught Drew telling a story?
Can't watch the reunion.
I'm asking you.
No, because there is something else that we go back and forth about.
Okay.
Oh shit, it's about to go down between Kandi and Miss Drew. I'm here for this, honey.
That I definitely had to just call Drew out on. Now, I don't know if they're going to show it, but I definitely had to like hold it to the fire on this one situation because I like that girl.
My thing with Drew is it's just unnecessary to lie. Some of the people you are arguing with, the joke is already on them. You don't need to lie to kick it, girl. Dang, so I guess this is kind of, you guys, to play devil's advocate, right? Because I don't hate Drew, but I feel like she is doing very unnecessary things, right? To be on the show. And it's just as unnecessary, Drew, and it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. So I'm guessing this is what people was talking about when they feel like she's disingenuous. She lies a lot and hides her hands and cries. And okay, I'm kind of seeing a pattern.
Now you know.
So
I love you, but
with this, you see this, and we're talking about Drew. Kenya and her have this dynamic where they're talking about their families and going back and forth. And Drew and Kenya have a real moment when it comes to the child situation.
Okay, and let's be clear, I am not showing favoritisms here. Now, there are moments where I feel like Drew is wrong, and there are moments where Kenya is wrong. I do not like when people be reposting and posting stuff about people's kids. Like, that's my personal feelings. Like, I don't think it's cool, and actually, Kenya and I actually had a side conversation about it because, I guess she still kind of was like, you really felt like, I did something wrong? And I'm like, yeah, because if anybody had done that, or reposted something about Brooklyn,
you would have had a problem with it, Twirl. Okay, you would have been a real live hell on wheels, honey. Okay,
you would be pissed, and I would be right there with you to going in on them. So, she had to say, okay, well, you know what? I get what you're saying.
Kandi, it doesn't look like you've been buying this story.
Nah.
So you didn't believe the Ralph Temple story sitting there at the reunion is what I saw.
It just sounded... It sounded like some bullshit to me.
I've been watching Mistress Angel as she's been processing this story.
Okay, here's my question then. If we're watching this show, do you feel like during this show that all of you, like you've done in the previous seasons, held Drew and Ralph as accountable as you guys have done in previous seasons when something didn't seem like it added up?
Nowadays, they let the guys get away with stuff.
Okay.
Back in, remember with the Apollos and the Peters and the Todd, when they was going through all the drama on the show, it seemed like they got drugged. They got drugged through the bud. And Todd always hates that because he always be like, y'all let them get away with stuff. Y'all didn't let us get away with stuff back then. And so I just feel like
that is true, honey, because they stayed on Todd's ass when he first came back when he first came on the show, I should say, not came back.
Only one that was really saying anything like, this is some bullshit. And none of the other girls were really chiming in. I mean, I don't understand.
Because they don't give a damn, okay?
It's not typical Housewives fashion to let him off so easy, but at the end of the day, it is our marriage.
I didn't go to any strip clubs.
Okay.
I spent the entire time by myself, no other women.
And really quickly, guys, when it comes to Ralph, I just realized we got a lot of bad behavior from Ralph in the beginning, and then he was like the saint towards the end, cooking, helping with the kids, treating Drew with respect. He stopped gaslighting her, acting all narcissistic like he was a helpful husband. We saw him be instrumental in getting Drew's baby father and their son, acquainted again. Like, Ralph really, he stepped his game up. Okay, he became very likable and relatable towards the end. So hopefully all of that was not an act.
Okay with accepting that, man. Cool.
You don't buy it.
It's not for me to buy it. I will say that I do like them together. So it's not like, I'm not saying that I think she should dump him. I'm not saying that. I want them to stay together. I just feel like his answer was some bullshit.
Well, first, how do you feel, Don Juan, about Ralph basically giving you the same answer that your speak on it that he gave to Andy? Because he said there would be some more.
Yeah, no, he did say that.
Well, he said he would tell when he got to the reunion. For me, the answer was womp, womp. It was pretty lackluster. And
right.
He didn't have to get suited and booted and be at the reunion to tell us that. If he wanted
to see him say it.
But I'm just saying, he could have sat right on the couch, speak on it, and could have told me that he had the receipts and he went running on the beach and riding on horses on the beach. And
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I just wanted to say that.
Running get out.
That just don't sound right. Like, he had to have a homeboy, and that was the other thing. They cut out some of the stuff. I was saying, so you ain't got no friend out there? You ain't got no old co-workers that live there? Like, how of all places you just end up in Tampa, and then you just enjoying your meals by yourself and going for jogs during COVID of all time?
He had him a little friend, but nonetheless, he still brings his ass home to Drew, unlike some people I know that will remain nameless, honey. We ain't gonna go there, but at least the man brought his ass back, okay? Because some of y'all, your man stay gone for a while. I'm just saying.
During a pandemic, you find a hotel to stay at during a pandemic to get meals and go on horseback rides.
They are crazy. Another thing, honey, before we get out of here, honey, I want to talk about as far as Real Housewives of Atlanta is Fallon. Honey, her husband has filed for divorce, okay? After Fallon, honey, she had a best friend named Jalen. She had an affair with that person. Oh my God. What is going on? So, honey, y'all know Fallon just may be a housewife, honey, next season. She's giving me Porsha teased. Didn't Fallon come on through Porsha? Yeah. And she was only married for 2 years. Now, they have children together. I think she had her 3 boys, I believe, before she got with him. I don't think they have any kids together, and he got a whole bunch of kids. So they ain't got none together, honey. Not that Miss Robinson, no. That's scandalous, honey. And y'all know Real Housewives of Atlanta love scandal, honey, and mystery. That Fallon, honey, she's very interesting. Very beautiful woman. She reminds me of the one actress, Sandy Newton. She reminds me so much of her. Yeah, honey, let's see what the people is saying about Fallon, honey, and her divorce. One person says Fallon has her own money. Her husband said that she has her own money and she is not gonna need his support. Another person says Fallon is 31 and her husband is 56. They both have cheated on each other multiple times. Fallon's husband has been married 3 or 4 times. Not 3 or 4, honey. That's a bit too much. You need to hang it up. Throw it away. Don't do it no more. Okay, who the hell want to be married 3 and 4 times, honey? That's too much, honey. Twice is tops for me, honey. Okay? The person also goes on to say he cheated on Fallon before they got married, and that's why she broke up the engagement, but obviously forgave him and got married anyway. He is a big-time cheater and also verbally and mentally abused Fallon. That's probably why she has cheated in the past and now. Oh my God, it sounds like that person know a little something, honey, about Fallon. Another person says Fallon and her husband don't have kids together. Fallon has had her children from previous relationships. She was a teen mom and made her own money before they met. I guess, honey, that is a lot, honey, okay? Another